The decline and fall of governance under House Targaryen, signs and flaws recognized by a common mind. When you play the Game of Thrones, you win or you die, often attributed to the cunning and power-hungry Lord Varys, it serves as a grim reminder of the ruthless nature that defines the world of Westeros under the Targaryen dynasty. For centuries, two dragons breathed fire and destruction upon the Seven Kingdoms, their Iron Throne a beacon of deceit and tyranny. Seeds of decline were sown early on by Aegon the Conqueror himself. The Targaryens, rulers with an otherworldly mystique, their descent into paranoia and madness a common thread that would come to define the house in its twilight years. Initially, a formidable unifying force, their ascension created a unified realm, cementing the myth of the golden age of Aegon. This, however, proved to be a fleeting moment of peace. A pivotal moment in the decay was when the infamous Black Lotus of madness began to take hold, rearing its head every few generations. Its first victim, Prince Maegor, son of Jaehaerys, would go on to sow the seeds of discord. Empowered by his father's support, Maegor cultivated an environment of disdain and betrayal, further galvanizing the ill-preconceived image of the Targaryen monarchy. Now, some might draw parallels between Maegor's cruel rule and that of his descendants, marrying out to secure alliances while ignoring the potential for further rebellion only multiplied their disaffection and insecurity. Maegor's marriage decree, forcing nobles to accept marriage with their own lord's bastard from the blood of the next born off the council with any that would dare challenge his power, foreshadows the oppressive actions of future leaders, displaying a worrying level of delinquency and a failure to learn from mistakes. The further we travel down the line of succession, the more regressive the Targaryens become, with an entrenched inability to address internal conflicts. House Targaryens infighting resulted in reduced control and eventual loss. Often, it is not the outside forces of hostility that led to a dynasty's demise, but the inner power struggles and flaws which grow increasingly self-destructive. Perhaps the turning point, one might even argue the inevitable downfall, begins with the short-lived reign of Jaehaerys' predecessor, Targaryen the Peaceful, attempting to impose a stronger will over that of the realm. Targaryen's reign ultimately concludes in tragic failure, driven more by desperation than wisdom. These rulers take drastic steps they later wish undone. In that moment, House Targaryen may see itself as unrivaled, with their Iron Throne at the pinnacle of power, reigning supreme over a world kept in a fragile balance of fear. However, subliminally oblivious, they sow the seeds of destruction with each devastating decision built upon weakened trust and questionable loyalty. How intriguing that even as late as the 5th century, Aegon's great success set the stage for generations of desperate and, one by one, powerless rulers, ultimately leading us to Daenerys and her burning descent into chaos, shrouded by her unwavering dependence on a meager army of unsullied and dragon riders. Herein lies the most telling part of our story. Despite witnessing numerous heinous acts, there remains a choice, one fueled by hope or despair, the call to emulate the descent into corruption and tyranny, or whether, faced with the potential consequences, the governed rise up against the unforgiving ruling elite, rejecting an exploitative and power-hungry throne that seeks to hold its power through oppression.